Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please help me welcome my lovely guest, Helen, your granny Helen.
Thanks, Marina. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for for joining me, for coming on. We can have lovely chats.
I look forward to it. It's always fun. We always have a good time.
Yes, I do.
What are we going to talk about this week?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, where do you start?
Let me turn my heater up. It's kind of noisy. You tell me if you can really notice a difference, because it's freezing cold. Oh, I should talk to you about freezing cold. Sorry. Our problem is it has not gotten as cold as it usually does, but it's more wet. Yes. It has rained almost every day. I don't want to exaggerate. There have been an hour here, an hour there every few days with a break in the rain.
Yes.
For over 3 weeks.
Yes.
Oh my God. Now, do you notice the sound difference?
No.
Oh, okay, good. If I have to, I'll turn it back on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, just make sure that you're comfortable.
How you doing?
I am doing just fabulous. I'm things are working out really, really well. I'm sitting back and I'm going, you know what? 2026 is going to be interesting. I had a weird dream last night.
Ooh, I love about dreams.
Yes, yeah. About the fact that I was coordinating a funeral, and it was a Cheeto type funeral.
I wasn't there, was I?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the orange moose knuckle, as some people call him. And I was making sure that for some reason all the women had to have necklaces that were black and white pearls. And
in what shape? Just string?
Yeah, a couple of strings of pearls.
Interesting.
And they had to be black and white. And I was noticing the ones who didn't have it, and and was showing them and telling them where they could go to, even if you just need to borrow. But that's what the ladies need to have.
Did you have a reason?
I could not figure out what the reason was. And even when I woke up, I thought, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to concentrate on whether or not women are wearing black and white pearls to Cheeto's funeral. Shouldn't the focus of this dream be the Cheeto's funeral? Like why am I there participating? Why am I not on the sidelines going?
Well, you know what? When you talk about black and white together like that, just impulsively, what comes to my mind is the yin and yang.
Yes.
Simple. And I feel like, maybe now we can restore some balance.
Maybe now we can. Yes.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
God. Too much.
I know.
So this last weekend was really bad, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, mind you, nothing surprises me with him anymore. That the things that he says, the things that people around him say, the things that they're doing, I think it just points out more and more just how absolutely dysfunctional this administration is, and just how things absolutely need to.
It's demoralizing. I think that's more the sense that I get that I have, and that I hear from a lot of my friends, is no one is shocked anymore. Although we are,
Yes.
Shocked, but not surprised.
Yes.
But it's just demoralizing. There's just this weight of nasty, unkind, sick, it just, who's the target today? And that whole Rob Reiner thing, I mean, oh my God.
I know. That one shocked me. It really did. and particularly the fact that they arrested his son. Ooh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something weird. I don't know anything about Rob Reiner. Uh, I felt neutral about him. I didn't even realize what a voice he was for progressive politics. I sort of aggressively ignore a lot of that stuff, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not into celebrity things, unless Edgar Casey
Little
or
bit of both.
somebody dead already.
Yeah.
So I knew he did Archie Bunker, years
Yeah.
ago. I was well aware of that, and I knew he'd made a lot of movies, but I couldn't have named one movie he made. I did look it up yesterday, and I was like, oh, he made all those movies. I didn't know that, but I got a text from somebody in this community that said, "What do you think about Rob Reiner?" And I thought, I don't know. Am I supposed to be thinking about Rob Reiner? I had no idea. So I said, well, I don't know. And then I went and I looked at the headlines, and it wasn't high up in the headlines because Australia had happened and Brown University had happened, and we'll make a list, right? So I scrolled down, and there's this little tiny picture of him and his wife, and it says Rob Reiner and wife stabbed. And immediately, I don't know anything about him. And I thought, oh my God, his son killed him. I didn't even know he had a son. Isn't that weird? Oh, are you there? Or are you frozen in shock? Oh, now I'm alone on Marina's channel. I can do all kinds of mischief. I wonder what happened to her. Well, she can watch this later on and hear the full story. So
Okay.
I thought I terrified you and you froze in shock.
Yes, that happened too.
Where did you leave off?
You were just, well, I think you were just saying something, about his movies, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you froze, and I went, uh-oh, are we glitching? And then I got the little thingamajig.
Yeah. Well, I had no idea that you weren't just riveted by what I was saying.
Yes.
You're frozen.
Yeah.
So I found out, that he had made all these movies I really liked, and I thought, oh, no, I didn't give him any credit. So I looked on the news, on the headlines, and way at the bottom, because it had just happened, a little tiny picture, Rob Reiner and wife stabbed. And immediately I read that, I thought, oh, their son killed him. I don't know why I knew that, because I didn't know they had children. I don't know anything about them, Did you hear the really awful part? It's all awful, but apparently they had kind of a house and then a small house, a guest house. And I think the son lived on their property on the guest house, but their daughter also lived with them. And their daughter is in her late 20s, I believe. So the son just came in and did it in the middle of the day.
Oh my gosh.
I guess they'd had an argument the night before at a party. And I guess that was the last straw. So he came in and did it in the middle of the day. The daughter was home, and I don't know the specific details, but she came downstairs and found her father dead and her mother dying. She called the ambulance. She went with her mother to the hospital, but her mother died on the way to the hospital. So look at the trauma for that poor young woman. Trauma upon trauma upon trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awful. That is just something. So just quickly, I want to say hello to the folks that are here with us. Thank you so much. So we've got Wild Lilac, Amanda Ginga, artist Liz. Hello, Kimberly Canoes, Philip Ehrman, Connie B. Let me see. Cheryl is here. Cheryl Manalo, Janice Outdated, Angie Burke, Andrew 8775, who says, good evening, new subscriber. Well, welcome, new subscriber. Glad you could join us. And when we were just want to point this out, Amanda Ginga said that I just Googled the spiritual meaning of pearls, and it says emotional balance and serenity. transformation and resilience, and feminine energy.
Let's hope so. But that balance thing, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And hello, Fatima. And yeah, there, Kimberly Canoe says, yeah, that Rob Reiner and his wife were at Conan Adele's Christmas party. Wow.
They did what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That Rob Reiner and wife were at Conan Odell's Christmas
Oh,
party.
yeah, Conan O'Brien. I know because it's Irish. Yeah, who's
Yeah.
that guy? That guy that has that show that I never watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they had a fight. But here they've got 3 kids, and one of them has all these problems, and apparently he's had them since he was very young. It's karmic. You bring stuff with you.
Yes. Yeah, you do. And it's terribly, terribly unfortunate. And particularly, I mean, this time of year, under the circumstance, I mean, not only the rest of the family and friends, the survivors, but the amount of guilt that goes along with something like that, is people go through the well, should I have the son said something to me 3 months ago, and I wonder if I had done something or said something, if that would have changed. There's a lot of emotion that goes with that.
Yeah. I heard Malcolm Nance say something, and I wasn't listening fully, but he today was talking, I guess he was friends with theirs. And I guess Rob Reiner approached him recently and asked for advice what to do with his son. So he's feeling particularly, like you said, guilty. Yes. I just feel so sad for them. It's
absolutely.
It feels like people are forgetting about all the middle steps and jumping immediately to the extreme reaction.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, Connie B says, well, does that mean Rob and his wife didn't learn the lesson they needed to learn, or their son?
No. Let me tell you something. I got a link to an Edgar Casey thing today.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your synchronicity. It's just bizarre. And halfway through, it was talking about humans that are not fully human, humans that don't really have a soul. And it's a whole thing. And I'm going to do a video about it this next week. But just scroll down a bit because I was in a hurry. And where do I land? But I land on it talking about good people, advanced souls who do good in the world, but who have children who are without a soul. And what is that all about? It seems so unfair. And it's about them having volunteered to help that being perhaps make some sort of evolutionary jump. And I'm not explaining it really well, but I thought, oh man, talk about your message that's appropriate for the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would take that to mean that, with a child that is struggling, and of course, entertainment purposes only, the idea that a soul would volunteer to try to make that difference, right? That coming in saying, okay, I'll try, I'll do my best, I'll try. Right.
Well, they have the reputation of being genuinely nice people, just socially aware and compassionate and generous and always just nice to everybody, not, that snobby thing, and approachable. Yes. And, kind of goes to the idea that good people trying to provide this troubled kid, and it didn't work. Yeah.
Absolutely. And and this was a particularly difficult weekend because not only the Rob Reiner, but Brown University,
Yeah.
Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
It's I think this is the escalation. This is the things that we have sort of been talking about. And I mean, none of us have said, oh, um, just pretend that none of this stuff is happening. We have all to some degree said, yes, things are going to get better. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and they have to get a little worse before they can get better, because we need to see what needs to be changed. We need to see what needs to be fixed. It's not just enough to to pretend that we know. We need to see it. And the attacking the Jewish community, especially now, because it is such a volatile topic, because there's so many people that are kind of taking sides when it comes to the to Israel. Really, let's face it, it's about Israel. And to say that all Jews represent what Israel is trying to talk about is to say the same as saying all Americans are Trump supporters.
Oh God.
Right? Well, we know that's not true. We know that's not true. And these are people that they're not located in Israel. This is Judaism is a belief, just like Christianity is a belief. So it boggles my mind, but I know that this had to happen. We had to see this happen, and I'm actually kind of surprised and heartened a little bit by the people who stepped in and tried to stop the gunman in Bondi.
Yeah. You know, that article about Edgar Casey and the people with the souls, one of the things that he said in this was that the question was, well, what purpose could the creator possibly have for sending people that are basically empty shells? How could that even be a thing? And the response that he gave was interesting. He said, we don't know the outcome very far, from now, for however long the outcome takes to get here. And we can't even imagine it. But perhaps there is an outcome that has to do with them providing contrast, that in order to see the light, to understand the good, you have to have the opposite.
Yes.
And you have to have mirrored for you what you don't want to be, what you don't want to do. Yes. And it's a lesson to all of us. And so perhaps in doing that, they are doing a service. Maybe they're not so terrible in the long run, that they're providing a service that needs to be provided. I thought that was a very interesting way to look at it.
It is.
You mentioned,
you
mentioned, not all Americans are Trump supporters. I was really looking forward to talking to you. Just between you and me. I made up my mind. I have been trying to do a regular, maybe every 3 or 4 weeks, a little video about our neighbors in the neighborhood. And we being the crack house in the neighborhood. We've got the broken refrigerators out on the front lawn, and the mongrel dogs that snap at everybody. It's a problem. And I feel if I can convince one Canadian and one Mexican that we don't all hate each other, I feel like I will have accomplished something. And I truly, Marina, when I say this, people think it's performative. This is the honest to God truth. When I think about this, I'm heartbroken. This is terrible. I love Canada.
And
I didn't think I was going to cry.
no, but
truly.
it is emotional because we have been neighbors for such a long time and have gotten along so well.
I know, the longest unguarded border in the world for what,
yes.
250 years?
Yes, exactly.
And one person.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, I think most Canadians realize that it is not all Americans, that it is the current administration that is doing that. And, you know, we're looking forward to the time when things can kind of return back to normal.
To a semblance of normal. It'll never be the way it was, but
no.
And I think it's going to be a very long time before other nations trust us.
Yes.
But the point that I really want to make, because I've heard a lot of pushback from Canadians, is that yes, he got elected, but he didn't get elected because the majority of Americans wanted him.
Yes.
A small, not a mandate, a small majority of Americans who voted elected him because of the Electoral College. It's this weird system that we have, but like 100 million Americans didn't even vote.
Yes, exactly.
Out of despair. Most of them, it's just despair, you know.
Yes. Yeah. And the idea that, oh, politicians are all the same, they're all liars, they're all this. Why? Well, you know, if you don't participate in the process, in what's going on, by saying, I'm not going to vote, I'm just going to step out of it, you are allowing someone else to decide how your life is going to go and what your future is going to look like. Hello, we saw that happening during Brexit, right? Where some of the politicians were talking to the younger people and saying, are you going to let your grandparents decide how you're going to live? Because that's what's going to happen. People have become very, very complacent over the last maybe 25, 30 years, where it's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And more people not recognizing that, you're part of the collective. You have to act as a collective, not as individuals. And we're seeing the aftermath of all that.
Well, I've heard people, my kids are spread out in age, so I get to hear different age groups,
Yes.
And a lot of them, their attitude is, politics, it's just a big game, it's bought and sold, it doesn't affect my life. They're not making the connection. I don't necessarily put all the onus on the people who are not engaged. I think they're not engaged because there's an intentional effort to keep them disengaged, distracted, either by stupid and mindless entertainment or by sheer exhaustion. And people are working 16-hour days. People are desperate to pay their rent. Most Americans, and this is shocking, I think it's like 80-something% of Americans cannot come up with $400 for an emergency. Oh my God. And in this country, that means, you can't go get medical care.
Exactly.
It's really bad. Yes. I'm not sure that there's enough attention paid to the struggle that people are enduring every day. The last thing in the world they're thinking about is who's the Speaker of the House. And if they've been to American schools, they probably don't even know what a Speaker of the House is. And it's intentional,
Yes, it is. And I'm sure that you've heard me say it in the past, as I know I've said it many times in the past. One of the ways to control a large population is to keep them uneducated, keep them stupid, and keep them sick. Yep. Uneducated and unhealthy.
And desperate. Yeah.
yeah, and desperate, and that is better. I mean, we're witnessing that. We're witnessing that the people um, who, you ask them, what are the three branches of government? Huh? What?
I
What?
know.
What does the Senate do? Huh?
I know.
It blows my mind to think that these are basic things. This is like, how do you not know? How do you survive without knowing that? But
I don't know because I'm old. And when I was in school,
yes,
well, by the time you were in the fourth or fifth grade, you had memorized that, and by God, you better know it.
you better
So I
know.
don't know what it is exactly that they're doing in school anymore. My granddaughter's 11, and she was last year was having some trouble with math, and she was showing me why she was having trouble. So she could get the answer, and she got it correctly, but you have to show your work, and you don't just show how you figured it out. And there's more than one way to do a math problem. You have to
Yep.
show the way they want you to figure it out. And she didn't really understand what they were doing. I did
Yes.
advanced math, and I had no idea what this like fourth grader, fifth grader was trying to do. And she said, the other problem, Granny, is we have to do it on the computer. And once we do it, we can't go back and fix it. And I told her, when I was in school, what they always advised us was sit down with your test, read it over once, go through and do things you're 100% sure of. Then go back and spend a little time on the things you can do process of elimination.
Yes.
And if you can eliminate two, then you have a 50-50 chance of getting the right answer. Then spend the time torturing yourself over the ones you don't. They can't do that anymore.
No. Yeah. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Boggles the mind. And Susan Rotella, thank you very much for your lovely donation. Susan is an excellent supporter of the channel, and I appreciate that.
That's really kind. Really kind.
Very, very kind. And
Marina works really hard. A lot of hours.
thank you. You know what? But I love it. And this is a good opportunity for me to remind you guys to please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Helen's channel as well.
Oh, what a good idea.
Yeah. So
good idea.
In the description of the video, I've got her YouTube channel listed on there. So make sure that you go over, do the like, share, and subscribe. She's got lovely different Substacks and puts out some wonderful content that makes you think. And
Thank you, Marina. My channel is this kind of weird combination of metaphysics, the paranormal, philosophy, politics, and true crime.
Yes.
Weird little combination. And I try to mix it up so that people have something to distract them, because you can't focus on the heavy stuff all the time.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we kind of go where we're led. So
there's so much truth to that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's whatever it is that you feed, whatever it is that you put your intention to, that is what is going to grow. That is what is going to ultimately survive. So that's why it's so important for us to, you can't put on blinders and pretend that what is happening in the world isn't happening, because it is. You just don't have to actively engage with it and let it take over your life. To be positive, be willing to spend time in contemplation of good things, of things that are going to benefit humanity. And I think that it's coming. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel the energy of that 3-eye atlas. And
I don't know. I'm so nearsighted. I can't see anything up there. So I don't usually focus all that much on the sky. You know,
Mhm.
like I've got friends who are astrologers and I
Yes.
have to take it on faith that there's patterns because I can't even, I can't see anything. However, I hear what you're saying, and I think that I agree with you, but maybe on a different timeline. I
Mhm.
think it's slowly coming, but in order to get there, we have to go through it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's difficult. The mistake we make is when we pretend it's not happening, and therefore we don't get the benefit.
Yes.
We have all the problems, but we don't get the benefit. So we have to find that delicate balance between
Yes.
awareness and engaging with it and not letting it take us over. It's really hard to do that. So what I tell myself, because I have a tendency to, freak out, what I tell
Mhm.
myself is when you start to feel like that, you bring it all back in and you think about what can I do today in my neighborhood, in my home, like which of my children can I call and just reach out to somebody and try to maybe brighten their day or
Mhm.
do a little something. And all those choices, those small choices, they add up. That's what makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, yes. Amanda says, yeah, our thoughts are powerful. We need to manifest what we want to see.
I
Um,
think it's really important to remember that that's true. I agree with that. And there's another step. We can think all we want because if thoughts manifested, I'd be 6 feet tall and blonde and a supermodel and wealthy. And so, you have to take action
you have to take
and you
action.
have to be realistic about it. I'm never going to be 6 feet tall. but but you have to act on what your thoughts and your good intentions are.
Yes.
Can't just build what is that called, a vision board. You can't just
Yes.
build a vision board and hope it's going to turn out. You have to go get a job and save the money up so that you can buy the car that's on the vision board.
Well, yes, exactly. It's not just enough to put the thought out there, but
Correct.
yes,
Correct.
when there's action behind it, then yeah, it
Yeah.
just becomes more powerful. And that reminds me of the monthly Shine Your Light event. That the idea when we gather as a collective and we we send out the intention of creating the world that we want to see, but then we are taking action in terms of us gathering, in terms of um, being supportive, in
Being
terms
yeah.
all the positive things that we want. And when we do that as a collective, um, it just explodes when it
It's
gets
like a
to
ripple. It has a ripple effect.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
People wonder why are horrible people successful? Why do they get what they want? Why are they able to wreck things? Because they know the secret. They have a thought, they have an intention. It's bad, but they have an intention.
mhm,
They're willing to do what the next step, the action, do whatever it takes, walk on whoever,
yes,
destroy whatever. And it's because of that willingness to really put the action behind it that they're
yes,
successful.
of course, of course. Yeah. Um, the the orange Cheeto has never met a lie he didn't like. And he just continues to repeat the lie, repeat the lie, repeat the lie. He is it is no accident that a lot of the things that he wants are manifesting because he's just laser focused
Laser
on
focused. Yeah.
keeping that thought
Mhm.
going and doing, like you say, whatever it takes to get to the next step. I'm not,
That's right.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
questioning myself. I'm not doing anything that is not aligned with what it is that I want.
It's a symptom of his
Yeah,
psychopathology.
it is.
Nature and nurture, who cares? This is what we're trying to deal with
Yes,
now. And he,
yes,
is utterly convinced that he will always get what he wants, his own way. And because he has that sense of inevitability and entitlement and determination, there's a lot of energy that goes into that. Most of us are like, we're pretty laid back and we're, that's the problem. He's got this intensity of ambition and insatiable hunger for more. You can never have enough, never be powerful enough. Did you see him getting that prize, that gold? Oh my God. He practically knocked the woman down that had the
I know he was so happy with that. That just made his day. The very first one. Yeah, he is very much a toddler in a grown man's body.
Stunted development.
Yeah, totally. And Wild Lilac had posted earlier. Did you see the Vanity Fair article where Wiles tell Troop about Trump, and cabinet says Trump acts like an alcoholic and more?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, she did do another interview, and she was trying to walk back some of it, saying, "Oh, I was quoted," and so on. And so you know what? We all know exactly what you're talking about, because that's exactly what we see. This is, Grandpa is not taking his meds, and he's out on the front lawn pulling down his drawers and peeing all over the snowman, and we can all see it.
Yeah.
So
well, his niece Mary Trump, she, being a psychologist, has some great insight into it. Nate and I this morning, we do a thing every Tuesday.
Yes.
And we decided to read cards on Susie Wiles, because why would she do that? And my gut feeling before we read the cards was that, well, she's the chief of staff. That's the second most powerful job in Washington, D.C. When's the last time you heard her name in the news? She's been pushed out by Stephen Miller and what's the other guy's name? The grinning fool with the beard who's always back there behind Trump, grinning away. And
Vance.
No,
not Vance. Yeah,
no, the other one. I want to say Wilkie or Wilcoff, but Wilcoff is the envoy to Israel.
Yes.
The guy who survived 9/11, his whole company. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's vile too. But there's a whole troop of them. It does a disservice to call them a troop, like a troop of apes. It's worse. Was my feeling. She's been ignored just too long. She's had enough. Nobody's giving her any attention. They're not paying her the dues of her knowledge. She can't do her job. And I said, I think she's got plans. I think she's got her eye on something in the future. And I don't know if she's been offered money or if there is money involved in it, but she's decided, to hell with it. I mean, I'm not accomplishing anything anyway. I'm going to blow it all up before I leave. And Nate, interestingly, kind of got some of the details. He said, I think you're right. I think maybe it's about a book deal.
Oh.
Money in the future, So we'll see. We'll see who could sense whatever was going on with her, because I think she's done some permanent damage to her job. I don't think she cares. I think it was intentional.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that you're right. That feels about right.
Yeah.
Because I think that most people who are part of his little network, especially the ones that are, they pretend to drink the Kool-Aid, but they're not really consuming it. Let's put it that way. That they know that the end is here, And so now they're taking steps to kind of remove themselves, or at least give them an opportunity to back away in the future when the proverbial shite hits the fan, right? That because I mean, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go from here? Who's going to hire Kash Patel? Who is going to hire? We got the guy. We know who it is. Yeah, we got the guy. We don't have the guy. Okay.
Did you hear?
It wasn't him, but we're working on. We got
It's
the guy.
somebody. It was somebody, right? Did you
Yeah.
hear what Benny Thompson said about Kash Patel? Oh my God, this is so great. They had I don't know what to call it. It's like a congressional investigative committee questioning the heads of certain departments.
Yes.
And Homeland Security. Kristi Noem was there, you know. Kash Patel was supposed to be there, but he wasn't. And Benny Thompson, who is just dry and he goes right to the core of everything. He says, well, you know, Mr. Patel was supposed to be here today, but I suppose he was too busy flying on the FBI jet to his girlfriend's concert to grace us with his presence.
Yes.
That's great.
Very, very true. Very true. And yeah, Kristi Noem is another one who, when things got uncomfortable in that hearing, and she didn't want to answer questions, it was, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go. I have a previous engagement. I just know I have to go. And then she leaves, and someone hands her a baby, or she grabs a baby. So she's using this baby as like a shield, right, to get not answering any questions.
Kind of taking notes from Elon Musk.
Probably, yes. And oh no, she has to go. And then come to find out that the meeting that she was going to, her department had canceled it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's like any trick in the book. And these are things that people are seeing. And even those that are in let's say part of that 1%, where they say, well, I don't care how the job gets done as long as the job gets done. You've got to look at these people and you got to say, these are idiots. Entertainment purposes only. These are rock.
Well, no, let me take an IQ test and disprove you.
Yes, exactly. So, it's who's going to give them a job? Who's going to hire them for anything? They're not qualified for anything.
Here's the problem, and I think it's really important. Like, remember I said earlier that it's hard to look at the reality of what's going on. This is not going to change quickly. And I saw a photograph a couple of days ago, and I kind of went, because it was something I've been talking about a lot. And I guess I can't watch the State of the Union address because it's either really boring or really venal, or both. So I just can't. I believe it was photographed from the State of the Union address. And so, the great leader, the dear leader is in the front at the podium. And behind him, kind of like the devil and the angel, only it's the devil and the devil. But J.D. Vance on one side and Mike Johnson on the other. And what took my breath away was this is the illustration of what I've been trying to say that is so hard to face. If and when, and it's likely sooner than later, that person is out of the picture, that's not the end of it.
No.
Because they have co-opted so much of the infrastructure of government. And you've got the tech bros, the billionaire South African eugenicist tech bros, Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen, Curtis Yarvin. Those guys want, check this out, they want a corporate monarchy. And then on the other side, you've got the Mike Johnsons of the world who speak to Moses in their free time and have...
As do I. Hello, don't you?
Do you and your son share an app so that you can check each other's pornography use on the telephone? Because that's what Mike Johnson does.
Yes, absolutely.
I need to have a word with your son. That's just horrifying. So
Oh
you've got
God.
the extremist fundamentalist Christians on one hand, and the extremist racist eugenicist rich people, monarchists on the other. They both share a disdain for democracy. So they will be uncomfortable bedfellows for a while, but there's going to come a time they're going to butt heads.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's going to be difficult for a while, and I think we need to pay attention to who's in the periphery. It's easy to focus on this guy. He's a monster. It's easy to focus on him. But there's a lot of junior monsters around. They call them demiurges in the past. Yeah.
And they are, they are keeping him alive at this point, I think only because they haven't decided who's going to take over the reins. I don't think that they trust each other.
Oh,
a little bit. J.D. Vance is the personality of a boiled potato. You know, he's again threw his wife under the bus.
Did you read his book?
No.
His grandmother set his sleeping grandfather, who was asleep on the sofa, poured gasoline over him and set him on fire. This is
so it runs
inherited.
Yeah. Could be genetic. Be genetic. Yeah. Just one of Carl Stum. I'm not going to say your last name, Carl, because I'm going to butcher it. So I'm just going to say Carl. Okay. And he's got a good question. If blue wins in 2028, could we be facing an even bigger Trump mega January 6th, 2029 army? What can we do to prepare? Carl, I don't think that we're going to have to wait until 2028. I think that all indications now have been that the people who were Trump supporters are now feeling the effects of the decisions that they made to vote for him. So they are now firsthand experiencing the loss of health care. Your money doesn't go as far as it did. They're recognizing that tariffs are not a good thing. Tariffs aren't making anyone rich.
I don't think anyone even knows what a tariff is. It's a word people throw out, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And they couldn't define it.
No, exactly. So they are seeing and they are feeling firsthand of the meaning behind their decisions in terms of, I'm a Trump supporter. I support Trump. When he said, I love the poorly educated, he wasn't talking about the brown people. He was talking about you. He was talking about.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're saying.
Those people who think that they're, educated when they're not. They're simply opinionated. So, So I don't think, and with the races that have gone now, that have turned, they've gone from GOP to Democratic, and the races that have been tight have been. It's very telling that it, like in Tennessee, the tight race.
Yeah.
That was an area that Trump won by 68%.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this woman comes within,
a few points. Yeah.
That is huge.
It's significant.
Yes.
I think it depends. I think it depends on a couple of different things. How bad it gets in everyday life for ordinary people. Yes. And also how much on display the psychopathy is. Yeah. So if statements that were made over the weekend about the death of this guy who was beloved in Hollywood, I didn't know that, but he was. Yeah. If that kind of thing continues, people are going to cut ties. Yes. If people are desperate, they'll cut ties. But here's the thing: what you're working against is mind control. It's a personality cult. Look at what happened to the People's Temple and the people who followed Jim Jones. What did they all do? Maybe not willingly, maybe coerced, but it happened, right? Yes. Almost 1,000 of them. And I think that's a microcosm of what could happen. People weren't happy. People wanted out of it. People didn't really trust him anymore. And yet he still had control, because the ones who didn't fall for it, they had no choice at the point of a weapon.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think it depends on a lot of those different variables. I could see 2026 and the election being fraught with paramilitary protectors of a fair, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So much depends on a number of different variables.
I think there's probably going to be a good deal of political change in 2026 and then 2027, so that by the time 2028 comes around, I think that the mega supporters, the ones that are diehards, that are willing to jump off the cliff with him, their numbers are going to be so low that they could try and start something along the lines of January 6th. And my feeling is, more than anything else, that the attitude is going to, from a lot of them, is going to be, oh, you're going? Yeah, me too. Meet you there. Yeah, I'll let you know when I get there. And then,
well, it's true. A lot of them are getting old. That's the other thing to think about. Yeah. But the other side of that coin is that a lot of young people are being radicalized, and not in a good way. They're misogynistic, they're racist. There's a growing racism and well, I don't know if it's growing. Let's just say it's exposed, because I think it's always been there. Yes. Anti-Semitism, racism, the zealotry of extreme religion.
Yes.
So many factors. It's hard to guess. But I think Susie Wiles doing that interview was a little hint. The rats are starting to, if not jump ship, get a little uncomfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. And Liz just posted, Susie Wiles just stated that T is absolutely in the F files. Of course he is.
Of course. Why? I don't. Here's what I don't understand. Craig Unger wrote a book about 10 years ago called American Compromise.
Yes.
It's all in there, and it's all documented. Epstein and the dear leader, they owned side-by-side modeling agencies / beauty pageants in Eastern Europe, and it was a filter.
Yes.
You have to be careful of the words you use.
Yeah. But
those young women were moved along for purposes that are unfortunate. And is that secret? Is that a surprise to anybody?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's kind of it's one of the worst kept secrets in Washington. And again, I'll start off by saying entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm a tarot reader, but it's like Lindsey Graham pretending to be a heterosexual male.
Or a recently widowed person pretending to be grieving.
Yes.
No names.
Yes. Yeah. You know who we're talking about. Okay. Yeah, you do.
Did you know that particular individual was involved in beauty contests with the orange one?
Yes.
Way before that wedding ever happened.
Exactly. And she was from what I've heard, and I could be totally wrong. Maybe I'm.
What do you know? You just hear these rumors, right?
Yeah. I just hear these rumors. I'm a tarot reader. She was actually handpicked for her husband.
It was an arranged.
Yes.
Relationship. Yeah, I 100% believe that. I have no problem believing that.
Absolutely, because there was a purpose to to him doing what he did and what he needed to do. So
do you remember talking about the empty shells of people?
yes,
That's what I see when I look at that individual.
yes,
With the
yes.
sorry, now I'm getting mean.
But it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. You know, I mean, listen, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a goddamn duck.
You're gonna have a lot of duck poop to clean up.
Absolutely.
You're talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, there's there are a good number of people that are prominently mentioned in the Epps file, and yeah, he the Orange Mussolini is definitely one of them.
I'm reading that book by Virginia Giuffre, you know, her
Yes.
autobiography.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of books, and a lot of them are difficult books, either heavy, difficult reading, like technically difficult reading,
Yes.
or the topic is heavy.
Yes.
This book, I'm having such trouble reading it because it's so sad. It's just sad. You know the outcome.
Yes.
You know the characters involved, and you just, it's awful. It's truly awful. Yeah. And there are things in there, I'll just say this. That woman, Maxwell, did as much, if not worse, than the men. Because of her, some of those young women needed surgery.
Yes.
Lifelong issues. She was sadistic.
Yes.
And the fact that she was a woman, I think, adds an extra layer of betrayal to it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does. If we're one of the shows that we did last week, we were talking about the fact that you know, on the airplane, how Trump called one of the reporters Piggy, and how I know, and my response to that would have been, well, you know, I may be fat, but I can go on a diet. You're stupid. That's forever, dude. You know, you can't.
They're between a rock and a hard place. They have to maintain this demeanor because of their job. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And their bosses will just discard them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that bullying.
We were commenting how isn't it unfortunate that none of the men that were on the plane stood up for that reporter and said, well, hold on, wait a minute. I put that in the same category as what Maxwell did.
Yeah, it's cowardice.
Yeah. You willingly participated in the destruction of other women's lives.
And the other women stood around looking uncomfortable. Why didn't they all just at the same time go, hey, wait a minute? See, that's my problem. I would have done that. that explains a lot. You just, sometimes that risk is the only option.
Yes.
And so that might be your last trip on that airplane. But imagine how worth it would be.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy, you know, as somebody who was a fat little girl who got bullied a lot about it, that, you know, people use this term too often, but that triggered me so badly. I was enraged and really upset for her. And not that it matters, but she was a skinny little thing. Mm-hmm. But it's the demeaning, the insult, the power play. Yes. He's a schoolyard bully. It's disgusting.
Oh, absolutely. And that's how you know. That's how you know you get under his skin. Is because the only response that he has is that personal attack.
Lash up.
That's when it's kind of.
You're a nasty woman.
One from my side. Yeah, I win. It's a battle of wits, and he generally comes unarmed. So it comes to those things. Yeah. Anyway, we are at the 1 hour mark, and as much as I'd love to keep this going, I do have another show at 7. So I want to make sure that I'm able to get a little bit.
You need a break. You need to walk around so you don't develop blood clots, you know.
Yeah, grab another cup of coffee. Good stuff.
Get some circulation going.
Some of that too. So I'll be on at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with David from Tarot by the Bay, and it's Taco Tuesday. And Gary
Oh,
won't be able, yeah, Gary won't be able to join us as he's chauffeuring his mother around. So that's going to give David and I an opportunity to gossip about Gary. So
oh, perfect. Perfect.
just saying. So thank you, all of you
Thank
for
you.
being here and for spending part of your afternoon with us. Don't forget to go over and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Helen's channel and check out the content that she has, because I'm sure you're going to find something that is going to absolutely resonate with you.
Let me put out a little tidbit. I just finished doing a almost 3.5 hour conversation with the woman who made a documentary about the Amityville horror. We were supposed to put it out for Halloween, but she had surgery. And so I've got it ready to go, and I'm putting it out next week, and it's epic. And oh my God, she went into that house alone. She participated in a seance in that house.
Oh my gosh.
She met Ed and Lorraine Warren, the demonologists. It's a really interesting story. Really interesting.
Oh, see? Okay, now you guys have to go subscribe so that, and make sure that you hit the notification, the little bell notification, so that you know when Helen drops that, so that you can listen to it.
And I divided it up. A good friend of mine helped me and divided it up for me so it's palatable amounts. There'll be one day, one the next day, and it won't be too much. Yeah.
Perfect. All righty. Well, thank you everyone for being here. I will see you in less than an hour. And Helen, always a pleasure. And we're going to be doing a show again on the 26th, I think, on your channel. Is something like that? Or we'll be doing a show. The next one, Helen is going to be hosting.
In January, you mean?
No, December.
Oh, maybe I should put it in my calendar.
Yes, the predictions.
This is what it's like to deal with me. I don't know what day it is most of the times. And it's not Alzheimer's. It's not old age. I was like this when I was 10.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you so much, Marina. It's always fun. And I know you have a lot of Canadian viewers, so you guys don't blame me.
No. That's
please.
Right. Exactly. We understand. All right, folks, take care, and I'll see you shortly. Bye for now.
Slung the foil.